Hey, hey, hey. I am going to review what we went over in class, just in case you were not there or you want a refresher, or maybe you're a friend on the internet that is learning jQuery. All of those things are fine. If you are not in this class, then you can just make a folder wherever. But I am going to tell my students to put their folder in their homework, a folder. Okay. So let's start. We're going to start a new, well, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't just do your homework for you, right? Um, I'm just going to make a second file. What am I doing? I'm just going to make a jQuery practice file as a folder is what I'm going to do. jQuery practice 2. Okay, so now the folder's there. I'm going to go to Visual Studio Code, and there's the folder. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to make a index.html. I'm going to click on it again to highlight it. I'm going to make a style.css. And then one more time, and I'm going to make a script.js. Okay, groovy. We're going to use our cool Emmet trick where we're going to type an exclamation point and hit tab. I'm going to change this because it'll make me crazy if I don't. jQuery practice 2. Okay, now we need to go get jQuery. And the URL that I will remember until maybe after I'm dead, it definitely comes up in my sleep. So is code.jquery.com, which takes me to releases.jquery.com. It's the place I want to be. And we want the 3.x version, the minified one. So I'm going to click on that. I'll click on copy to clipboard. I'm going to go back here, and we want it to be right above our closing body. So I'm going to hit Command V to paste that in. And I'm just going to put a header on the top here just so we have something on the top, and you can tell that the script goes right above the closing body tag, jQuery practice number 2, exclamation point, because we're yelling. All right. After jQuery is where we want to include our script. I think, let me see if I can remember I think if you do, oh, there it is. If you type script, see the second option is script : source. That'll give you a script tag with a source. So all these are in the same folder. So I don't need to point at another folder or anything. I can just say script.js and it'll find it. All right, so I am going to go find some random images. I want to give you an example of like linking to images if you're using this versus to images on your, like in your project versus images off the internet, just so you have some practice with that. So I'm going to pause and go collect those. Be right back. You won't even notice I'm gone. Whoa, I'm back again. I ended up just going to Unsplash and getting some cute animals. And I have my downloads folder open. I am going to open my jQuery practice 2 folder, and I'm going to hit Command Shift N, or I think it's Control Shift N. Well, I don't know, on Windows. Any way you make a new folder, and I'm going to call it images. Let's pause for a second. See how big these are? That's gymongous for the web. I don't really feel like resizing them. They're probably 300 dpi. So I'm going to just at least make them a little smaller by using my favorite thingy, which is tiny PNG. It will shrink stuff. And yeah, it'll shrink up to, I think, 20 images per day if they are, I'm doing and talking. If you have a free account, I have a premium account because I use it a lot, but I think you can have up to 20 images a day, something like that. Okay. I just saved 68%. Sorry about the dogs. I'm gonna pause. Okay, they have stopped. Everything is now shrunk. It's smaller. I still probably should shrink them, but I'll download them. And what happens when you say download all, didn't work, hang on. Okay, is it will give you a zip file. So let's go back to our Finder. And now, instead of moving these over, I want to move these ones over because they're a lot smaller. Okay, because the name of the photographer is in these, I'm just going to leave it. Normally I would just simplify the name, but I will be able to give them credit if the name is in the file. That's just my decision. Okay, let's go back. All right, so step number 1, let's get an image in a box. And I want the box because it'll help me size and manipulate the image. So we don't really need a class for the box, but we will anyway. So I'm going to call it image-box. Image-box. Cool. Now in the box, I'm going to have an image. It's going to have some default source. Oops, typo. Whoa, cool. Come on. Jeez Louise. I'm going to give it an alt tag too. Okay. And it is going to have an image. We're going to point to the images directory. So images. Make sure that directory is lowercase. You don't want to mix up case in your files or folders. And what I do is I right click on the name of the file and I say rename. This is my little trick for getting the file name. Then I say Command A or Control A and then Command C or Control C to copy it. And that way I don't have to typo stuff. So I'm going to paste that in there. And I'm not going to worry about CSS right now, although I just remembered we haven't linked yet, and that could be problematic. So let's do that now. So I want to be in the head of my document. So make sure you're here, not down there. And if we type in the word link in Emmet, it'll give us a link that assumes that we're going to link to a style sheet. The link is style.css. Right over there. There's my style. Cool. Let's see if we have anything. So I'm going to close this. This thing I'm using down here is called Live Server. It's an extension. You can search for it in here if you don't have it. Okay, so open with Live Server. I just right-clicked to do that. Okay, we have a giant cat. So I'm going to size the box so that this is a little more manageable. So I need to do 2 things. One, and I recommend always doing this with images, is saying make my image width 100%. And then for the div, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to say make it be only 80% of the page. And then if I leave it like this, everything will be flushed to the left. I want it to be centered. So I'm going to tell CSS, figure out the margins by yourself. So make them even. So if I do margin auto, it'll like figure out the difference between the 2 sides or whatever, how much space it has, divide it by 2. It'll be magically centered. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Hooray. So, oh, isn't it so pretty? Okay. Now for the JavaScript jQuery part. We have an image. We need to give it a class. So I'm going to say class equals animal pick. Okay. And let us now go to, I'm just going to copy it. Let's go to script.js, which we've already linked. And I'm going to say, hey, jQuery. So if you do a $sign with parentheses, you're invoking jQuery. Then I'm going to say, go find a class. I'm using a dot that identifies it as a class. And then the class name is animal pick. And when I'm tempted, let's just test and make sure that like jQuery is working. So I'm going to say, let's change the CSS. And this happens basically on load, because when the page loads, it'll load the script. Change the CSS, give it a border, comma, and make it be 2 pixels dashed. Ooh, let's do dotted black. Okay, so let's just make sure this works. See, look, now I'm like, and then let's add some padding and make it pretty. Padding, comma, 40 pixels. Okay. Aw, I guess I could have made it more than 2 dots. 2 pixel. Yeah, you get it. Okay, that works. We actually want to get rid of this because what'll happen is we'll have an inline style and it might mess with our thing. What I just did in Visual Studio Code is I hit Command / to comment out this line. Hopefully it's Control / on a PC. All right, let's get to business. So I'm just going to copy this. So I want to say, hey, Jquery, go find the animal pick class. Oh, we need something to click on first. Okay, we're gonna have a click function. So we're gonna say, if I click on something, and then I'm gonna open up this method. A method is a function inside a function. And so since everything lives inside this jQuery function, then these are all kind of methods of the function is kind of how they call them. And so we have a parentheses. I'm going to just open this up while I type this so you can see it a little better, but we're going to say inside the parentheses, run a function. Here's some parentheses for an argument if we need to pass one. Here are the curly brackets for the body, and very inappropriately say for the body because it looks like curves. Okay. This is basically what this click function looks like. When I save it, and I'm using this extension down here called Prettier, it's going to like reformat it and I'll lose that beauty. So I won't save it right now this second. In the function, we want to say, hey, jQuery, I want you to go find a button with a class of, it's going to be a link with the class of 1. And okay. Oh, we're not clicking on animal pick. I'm so sorry. Sheesh. When I click on a class of 1, I want you to go find animal -pick. And I want you to find an attribute. The attribute is called src. So this is a key value pair thing. And I want to change that value to, let's pick a new aminal. Reveal the name. Command A, so I get that JPG part. Copy. And then go back to the script file. Paste that in. So unless I write more jQuery, I'm just replacing the entire source, which means I need to think about adding images, the images directory. So images /. And now we've got hopefully a working image. So let's make a button with a class of 1. There it goes, shrinking up. So this is what jQuery loves to look like. Thank you, Prettier. So we're going to go to HTML. We're going to, I'm just going to do, what is wrong with me right now? Okay, I'm going to do a break tag just to make a line. Prettier likes to put that the / at the end. That's fine. It's XHTML. It's fine with me. All right. A link href equals something. Auto thing is not helping me today. All right. So this one the text for the link will be 1. We need to add a class of 1. And in the href, I would just put a pound so that it just makes your life easier. And then let's see if we should start with our beautiful snow leopard, and then it should change to a polar bear. Let's give it a whirl, refresh. Got rid of that border, so I know it's fresh. There's my little 1 link. When I click it, dun, 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 Oh, hooray, I get a polar bear. Okay, so there's kind of, you could have one button to go forward and one button to go back, but right now I just want to do it kind of the slowpoke way. And I think if I'll follow up this video with one about how to make it just 2 buttons instead of this what I'm going to do right now, which is have a different link for every image. So 2, maybe I'll kind of want to have it be the animal names instead. 3, okay, I have 4, but we're starting with 1. Maybe we'll call 1 4, just to have more practice. 3, and then 4, 4. Okay. So let's make one for each of those. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then where am I? I'm 2, I'm 3, I'm 4. And then we need to change the image name. And make sure you don't lose that images slash. So I'm going to do 3, rename, Command A, copy, script. So that is 2. It's kind of a weird numbering, but whatever. Okay, paste. So as long as these are different. And then after array, we have Sid, copy path. Oh yeah, copy path. Why didn't I just do that? Oh, it may give me the whole path. Let's see. Maybe relative is better. Yeah, this is not that helpful, right? Because that's a lot. I could just do that so that it looks like these others. We'll do the relative path thing and I'll show you how that one is also probably not correct. And then this one, Gwen, copy relative path. This is what that will get you. I'm going to just replace all of that. So here's what I'm starting with. Paste. Not quite as bad, but you definitely want to get rid of this because it's not relative to where we are. We have a folder inside of where we are right now called images that we want to get to. So that's the relative path that we want. Okay. Let's give it a whirl. Did we make links? I think we did. Yeah, okay, 1, 2. I just put a little space in between so they're not all smashed up together. I would probably want to just also add button and then make a style so you can have 2 different classes in one. And then I'll have a style with a class of button that I can make all fancy and they'll all look the same. And then also they'll have that class of 3. Yes, I could totally have used an ID instead of a class, and that would be very, very appropriate for jQuery. But in the long run, I want to have 2 buttons that one goes forward, one goes back. So I don't really want to, I don't know. I guess I could use ID. I could totally use ID. I'm just not because I'm a rebel. All right, let's try it out. I guess I could have made the images a little smaller. So 1 is the polar bear, 2 is the fox, 3 is the panda bear, 4 is back to the default one. And to be more normalish, I'd probably you could go into all kinds of details like have this not be clickable because you're viewing one. But we're not doing that right now. Maybe I'll just keep going with this. Who knows? All right. So that's the general gist of using images locally, getting them to swap when you click on buttons. I'm sure I've probably spent enough time. Oh yeah, 20 minutes. Okay, I hope this was helpful. And that is all. Goodbye.